Sup guys, dinofries here, and welcome to New World. I haven't played this game in a minute, but there's a new expansion coming out called Rise of the Angry Earth, or Revenge of the Angry Earth. There's something with the Earth being angry, and I figured we would jump into the public test realm, which is just live today, and check it out. So here we are. We're going into the Elysian Wilds, the new zone. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys what this looks like. And also, I'm on a mount. I'm on a friggin' horse, man. And yeah, this is what a mount looks like. In my opinion, it's really, really cool. It makes traversal so much easier. And I'm enjoying it. I mean, traversal in New World was something that I had a huge problem with. It's kind of why I quit. I was just like, oh, it's too much of a slog to go back and forth to stuff. And now there's mounts, and yeah, I like it a lot. And I kind of wanted to jump into the PTR and show you guys what is good, what is coming out in this new expansion that's really like around the corner. And also just along the way, just give my commentary as someone who hasn't played New World in a while. And yeah, and at the end, just kind of, you know, decide whether or not I want to come back after not having played for like well over a year now, I think, maybe 2 years. So yeah, once again, this is what mounts look like. You're faster on the roads, just like when you're walking. Also, you can hit that auto run button and you can just keep going on your mounts. And you can also sprint on it. So like you can kind of just like set an objective and then auto run and kind of just follow paths along. And it's just so much faster than walking. Also, the mount quest was super easy to complete. So it doesn't take that long to get the mounts. So this is the outpost. This is the first outpost you will come across in the Elysian Wilds. And I figured I would just warp around. As you can see, I already discovered all the points on the map for you guys. So I figured I would just warp around to a few of them. I'm going to go here, here, probably here, 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 and here, and show you guys just like different parts of this new zone. This is the Firefly's Vantage. As you can see, like the zone is pretty much like luminescent nature, but also like creepy woods. I quite like it actually. I have a thing when it comes to like, you know, those kinds of zones that are like lit up, and like neon-y. So this is one of the points. This is a vantage point. Let me warp around to another point now. Here we are at the Shrine of the Lion. This is kind of like deeper into the woods. A lot of trees. You're gonna notice a lot of trees in this new zone. This is Dayspring Road. This might be my favorite part of the map. I mean, look at all that color. It's really, look at these like flowers, man. It's so beautiful, you know. I really like this part of the zone, especially. It feels so fantasy like, which for New World, you know, which is like kind of like a colonial Western vibe, it puts a really cool spin on it, in my opinion. I'm really liking it. I think New World has always nailed it when it comes to like the visuals, and this new zone is no exception to that. I mean, granted, in the game, actually, my experience so far, I've actually not even reached max level, so please don't crucify me for not knowing everything about this game. I probably don't even know that much, but I know a little bit, I guess. I've only really gotten 2 characters to around 40. Once in the beginning, I played right when the game came out, got a character to 40, got bored, quit, came back for like those fresh servers, made another character, got that one to 40, and then quit again. But I think I'm going to come back. I mean, it's just like, I mean, this looks beautiful, huh? Now this is Old Settlement Shrine. And this part, you kind of see these like huge like trees spawning everywhere, and got a ship over there. That's a really nice detail, actually. I didn't notice that before. And yeah, so this is Old First Light Settlement, which you will recognize because this part of the map used to be First Light, and now it's the Elysian Wilds. So this is kind of like a callback to First Light. Some folks fighting over there. Yeah, really stunning. This is the other outpost. It's called the Bullseye. Not that appealing. That's kind of an interesting tree formation over there. But yeah, I'm just kind of give you guys like the whole scope of it. It's kind of a small area, actually, when you think about it. I mean, like, this is the Elysian Wilds, right? But like, this is Brimstone Sands, which is the previous new zone, which was this is like double, maybe even triple the size of the Elysian Wilds. I actually prefer the aesthetic of the Elysian Wilds compared to Brimstone Sands, which is like, as you know, sandy and it's a desert. But yeah, this is the other outpost. And then this is the what's this place called? High Mountains Rest. So this is like where the new expedition is. It's called Savage Divide. It's right over there. And this is the other end of the map. This is like the most south end part of the entire world. Well, southeast. You also Cutlass Keys over there. And yeah, it's kind of like the outpost before I showed you guys. Not that visually appealing. I feel like the good part about the Elysian Wilds is like this pink zone over here, which is small. I mean, when you think about it. Now let me show you guys what the new weapon looks like. We got the flail. So it's a flail and a shield. You can unequip the shield, or you can have it on. And this is what the weapon tree looks like. You got cleric side and you got bastion side. I'm going to show you guys the cleric skills first. So you got Arcane Smite, Arcane Vortex, and Arcane Eruption. And then for Bastion, you got Barrage, Trip, and Warden Bludgeon. Let's go ahead and so this is the cleric side. You got this. You got this. And you got this. Now on the Bastion side, you got this. You got this. And you got this. And that's the flail. I personally think it's awesome. I especially had a build going on before. I would use this. I would use Barrage, and I would switch out Trip for Arcane Smite, and I used Ward and Bludgeon. I don't know if it's actually good, but I just think they're the three coolest looking skills, especially this one. I absolutely love that skill. It kind of makes me want to use the flail just in itself. And then I also like using this one and this one. You know, all the ones that kind of just you take the flail and you just kind of just bash it into the enemy or into their grounds. And yeah, I mean, this is the expansion. This is the flail. This is the mounts. I showed you guys the mount. And this is here we are. We are in the Elysian Wilds. And there's also, as I mentioned before, a new dungeon. There's a bunch of other stuff, and I'm kind of showing you guys just the good stuff. But there's also the Savage Divide Expedition, which is right over here. And I actually already did an expedition, the Savage Divide Expedition. And I'm going to show you guys that now and give you guys my thoughts as I showcase what it's all about. So here we are in the Savage Divide Expedition. Immediately when you walk in, it's kind of what you expect, you know. It's an underground labyrinth that is kind of has all those elements of the Elysian Wilds inside. You got nature, you got glowing lights, you got luminescent flowers, yada yada. It looks beautiful. And so basically the kind of core mechanic of this dungeon is there's these ancient orbs that you find. You kind of pick them up, and one of your party members has to lug it around and place it, and then that's how you open doors. And you also come across various enemy types such as gorillas. Also, while I'm showing you guys this dungeon, you can kind of see how the flail does in combat. I'm obviously not doing the best build, probably. I kind of just added points to whatever looked right, and I obviously had those 3 skills which I said looked cool just going, and I would kind of just rush in and just tap all of my skills. Sometimes I would put my shield up when I was taking too much damage, and I also used a life staff in my secondary slot. I don't know if I would do that actually in the game, but the flail scales with strength and focus, and so the life staff is a good pairing with it. And I kind of figured, well, I want to show off the flail, I want to get a hang of it, so I'll just use the lifesteal on my offhand just to heal my party and myself whenever I need to. Also in the dungeon, you come across lions. So you got gorillas and you got lions. You also have iguanas, which they actually do this funny thing where they like just disappear and then appear out of nowhere. I guess kind of showing off like the camouflage that chameleons have. I said iguana, they're chameleons. You also come across these like, I don't even know what to call them. They're like they're like lizards, I guess, with like a bunch of armor on them. I actually didn't have much trouble throughout the dungeon at all, but that's because in the PTR everyone's level 65, everyone has sick gear. It might be challenging once it actually unlocks in the game, because players are gonna have to farm up the good gear to be able to take this on. You also have these like plants that explode after you kill them, and not hard to deal with, but I found out the hard way. So as you can see, as I mentioned before, you kind of just, it's not a very complicated dungeon. You know, you're just it's not very mazy either. It's kind of pretty obvious where to go. You just go towards the doors that haven't been opened, and then you open them up using the orbs, and then you unlock those doors. And if that door is unlocked, then you go through it, because that's the next area. Another thing in this dungeon that was funny to me is there's rocks falling down from the ceiling, and it knocks you in the head and like makes you dizzy for a bit, which wasn't really too bothersome. It was just funny. Here we are fighting Ziggit. As you saw, that awesome I think it's called barrage skill with the flail. I just love it, just dragging the flail across the floor and rushing forward with like a boosted speed, and then just dropping it on the enemy. It's just, it never got old for me. Next part in the dungeon is you open this door and holy shit, there's a mammoth just chilling there. That's another animal in this dungeon. They're all very like fantastical and mystical looking, even the gorillas. And they also have like elements imbued in them. I don't know about all of them, but I know some of them do. And yeah, there's mammoths in this dungeon. And just want to point out again how gosh darn good this dungeon looks. It was such a treat for the eyes, and I actually thought the sound was really good. I mean, the sound in New World is always killer, but the music in the background for this dungeon was so nice. It was like peaceful, but like not enough to put you to sleep. It was still like upbeat enough to be hype. So in the middle of the dungeon, you fight a mini boss, Kurok. It's kind of just an armored gorilla. I don't know if his mechanics, I mean, this is our first time doing this, so I'm not sure what mechanics he had. He kind of just acted like a gorilla, just went ape shit. But I died actually fighting him, which is kind of embarrassing considering I was like the only one who died in the dungeon. And let me tell you, this was not my first death in this dungeon. It happened again. I felt bad for my team. But yeah, Kurok was cool. Easy though, I mean, but again, I'm not sure how hard he would be. Actually, I mean, considering I died, maybe he is kind of hard maybe he will be hard in the real game. And then the dungeon continues. I mean, things don't get much different. You're kind of still just fighting through enemies. And yeah, I died again in that dungeon. This is my second death, and let me tell you again, this is not the last one. But yeah, you kind of just go through enemy after enemy, mobs, fighting them out, carrying orbs when you find them, opening up doors, and you just keep going, you know. But even though the dungeon was really simple, I just want to again emphasize just how good it looked and how nice it was. And you know, I don't really mind a simple dungeon. I mean, the combat in New World is really, I mean, for me, where the game shines anyway. It's just fun to bash monsters and animals with your party and try and get good loot. And yeah, I'm fast forwarding now to the end of the dungeon. You fight this big mammoth called Mahantaram. Probably said that wrong. In this like arena like area, which is like very clearly a boss area. He's just kind of waiting there to you when you walk in, and kind of like Kurok. I mean, he definitely has mechanics, but my party, we didn't really know what was going on. Tried our best to dodge them. Nobody died, except for me, of course, yet again. But I mean, just like the rest of that dungeon, it was good. Simple. Also in this fight, you can see me showing off the new Heart Rune. I know they're called Heart Runes, but I'm just calling them Heartstones. Primal Fury. You kind of turn into this like big werewolf thingy that has this like really good attack, and you kind of just swipe your claws at them. But yeah, so you fight this boss, Mahantaram, and that's the dungeon. That's Savage Divide. My thoughts on the dungeon, as you guys already heard me say, simple but fun. I think the visuals are outstanding. The music is good. I had a sick time doing this, and it's honestly something that I'm looking forward to doing in the game once the expansion goes live. Probably not with the flail and the shield or the life staff. It's just not my playstyle. I prefer to play ranged weapons. I think I used spear and bow when I was playing New World, and maybe used the gauntlets. But I think the flail is really cool. In fact, I may use it solely for that barrage skill where you drag it across the floor, and then you rush forward and you bash him on the head. But yeah, Savage Divide Expedition, that was it. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Let me know what you guys think about this upcoming New World expansion down in the comments below. And while you're there, drop a like for me, please and thanks. Subscribe to me if you haven't already. Check out my merch. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Again, New World upcoming expansion. Is it worth the $30? I think so. I'm going to check it out. I think I'm going to come back to New World, buy this expansion, check it out. I think there are some really good things in store for this game. I think it's worth it, and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope I see you guys in game. Peace out.